Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and I took a break from the Fiesta Bowl, and I seen Violet Kitty 411's Treasures in Heaven video, where she talks to Christians about displaying their good deeds and why they should not do that. Well, I really enjoy Violet Kitty, and she's a really nice person. So this rant is not to her. This rant is to the idea of people not to be able to, or the barring people from bragging about what they do. I think people should brag about what they do because more needs to be done. And while we're sitting around in our big flashy mosques, and while we're sitting around in our big flashy mega churches, sipping lattes, having our church dinners, there's neighbors down the street that are starving. And I was deeply moved. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You better be doing something. Because in my view, salvation is not free. It's not a gift. Salvation is a job offer. You can take it and work it, or you can sit around and do absolutely nothing. And even in pagan mythology, I'm smart enough to know, from reading the Odyssey, that the suitors who sat around and ate up the house of Odysseus and did absolutely nothing, totally got their butts kicked when he came home. And instead of the big rewards they thought they were going to get, they were really taking advantage of Odysseus's house and his household and all that he owned. They were consuming it. And I think that is what Jesus was trying to get at, using the model of Odysseus and his return, which, pretty much Odysseus put them all to the sword. So anyways, I think people should brag. Now, for Christmas, the church down the road had a big sign out. It said, "Free Christmas dinner." That's what they were doing in my community. We had a big flood out here. I looked out my window, and the Mormons had a big truck, and they were handing out cleaning supplies to the houses that got flooded for free. Very moving. So, I don't care your belief system. If you're benefiting my community, fine. If you're destroying it, then you're going to hear about it. And if you're doing absolutely nothing, you're going to hear about it. So, I don't know what kind of good deeds you all have done, but I think it's time to brag. I know Tommy from the Bronx raised some money for a Christian man here on YouTube who pretty much didn't get any other support from all of his Christian people other than prayers. Tommy raised him some money, and people donated to charity. Very moving. An atheist doing that. Yes, they can. They're capable of it. Because you know why? I believe the Good Samaritan was an atheist. So, maybe because we don't brag, or we're not allowed to, and we get beat over the head, we forget to do stuff. And we sit around in the mansion, eat up the divine's resources, and the way the mythology goes, I have a feeling that if he were to return, as many believers expect he might, I would be scared if I was those people. Because the literature says they should be scared. So, I would rather flaunt my talents than to bury them in the ground and do absolutely nothing with them at all. So, to start out, I'm going to say a good deed that I did. For no reason. I'm agnostic, not a Christian. And sometimes it's even better to do good for the sake of doing good, without even care of a heavenly reward or whatnot. Doing good for the sake of doing good. That's a pretty good concept. There was a veteran came to me and said, "Wayman," I was at the town restaurant. We talk once in a while. He said, "I'm totally broke," and he was telling me about all of his problems. And I said, "I'm really sorry to hear that." And I felt horrible that this man was in this situation. He fought for our country, and he's in this situation. And we were sitting there, and we were having a coffee. I already decided in my mind that I would pay for his meal. Already. You know what he said to me? He said, Al, can I borrow $5? $5 so that I could go down and buy some can of soup and stuff for dinner. And he only asked me for $5. I gave him 20. I gave him 20. He could buy a whole meal. And I don't expect it back at all, because he felt good about it. I felt good about it. And to me, I believed, personally, it was the right thing to do. So, if you have any good deeds that you would like to brag about for the sake of doing good, send them in. And I want to know what you're doing and what you're doing for your neighbor. And I'm not going to beat you over the head for doing a good deed, and I'm going to let you brag about it. So, as long as it doesn't involve heaven, and as long as you're helping your neighbor, I don't think heaven would be too upset with you actually doing something. Because I think that all the money that you dump into the church, at your mega church, and all those things, if you were to sell all that, you could do a lot for your community that you're not doing right now. So take care, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.